Today, we're talking about Morocco's incredible plan to flip its energy situation on its head. We're going to look at how it's going from being a massive energy importer to a green energy powerhouse. It's a huge story about big vision, brand new rules, and some of the largest solar projects you'll find anywhere on the planet.
So, to really get your head around just how ambitious this is, you have to start with one absolutely staggering number. For the longest time, Morocco has imported about 95% of its energy. Now, that's not just some statistic. It's a massive national vulnerability. But the country is blessed with some of the world's best sun and wind, and it's betting big that it can completely flip that script.
Okay, so how does a country actually go from being almost totally dependent on foreign energy to becoming a potential green superpower? Well, it's not as simple as just putting up a bunch of solar panels and wind turbines. It's about tearing up the old playbook and completely rewriting the rules of the game.
And in this explainer, we're going to follow that whole journey. We'll kick things off with the sheer scale of the ambition, then we'll dig into the new laws that are making it all possible. We'll look at what this really means for investors, what kind of incentives are on the table, and we'll meet the key agency that's making it all happen. And finally, we'll look at the end game, becoming a real player on the global energy stage.
Right. First up, the ambition. To really understand the solution, you have to feel the weight of the challenge Morocco has been up against for decades.
Yeah, let's just let that number sink in for a second. 95%. For years, this was Morocco's reality. A massive reliance on imported energy, which leaves you totally exposed to global price swings and supply chain chaos. This isn't just an economic headache, it's a matter of national security.
But here's the thing, this isn't some sudden panic move. Morocco has been playing the long game here. Their national energy strategy, which they launched way back in 2009, had two crystal-clear goals right from the start: lock down the nation's own energy supply and become a leader in the region.
So, you've got the vision. That's great. But a vision without a solid legal framework? That's just a nice dream. This is where things start to get really interesting, especially if you're a private investor.
And this slide really nails the before and after. The old system, under a law called 1309, was kind of like a black box. A lot of the key details were negotiated behind closed doors, case by case, which created a ton of uncertainty. The new system, Draft Law 4019, is all about throwing the doors open. It's about transparency, making the whole process clear, predictable, and secure for anyone looking to invest.
So, what do these legal changes actually mean in the real world? Like, if you're a company looking to build a huge wind farm or a solar plant in Morocco, what's actually different for you now?
Okay, first we got to talk about a super important concept: grid capacity. The easiest way to think about the national power grid is like a highway, right? There's a limit to how many cars it can handle before you get a total traffic jam. It's the exact same idea with electricity. The grid can only absorb so much new power from renewables before it starts to get unstable.
And this is a total game changer. Under the old rules, investors were basically flying blind. They had no idea what the grid's traffic conditions were. Law 4019 completely changes that by forcing the grid operator to publish this capacity data for everyone to see. So now, an investor can look at a map, see exactly where the opportunities are, plan with confidence, and slash their financial risk. It's huge.
And it's not just about the data either. Even the language they use is getting simpler and clearer. They've gotten rid of these confusing old terms like provisional and final authorization. The new process creates two very clear phases. You get a development authorization to build your project, and then an exploitation authorization to run it. It might seem like a small tweak, but it adds a massive amount of clarity to the process.
And here it is, the new roadmap, all laid out. An investor submits their application along with a bank guarantee just to show they're serious. A technical commission reviews the plan, and you get an authorization within a clear 3-month window. From that moment, the clock starts. You've got 3 years to get the project built. It's predictable, it's streamlined, and it's designed to get shovels in the ground fast.
So, having a clear rulebook is absolutely essential. But Morocco is also putting its money where its mouth is. Let's take a look at the financial incentives they've cooked up to really spark this green gold rush.
And we're not just talking about one single program. It's a whole ecosystem of support. You've got things like Green Invest, which helps companies buy green technology. There are direct grants for heavy industry to clean up their act and cut pollution. There's even a program that offers grants and loans to help entire supply chains go green. The strategy here is clearly multi-layered. They're targeting everyone from small businesses all the way up to the biggest industrial players.
Okay, so we have the big vision, we have the new rules, and we have the money. But who is actually on the ground turning these massive plans into steel and glass and concrete? Well, you need to meet Masson, the state-backed powerhouse that's driving this entire operation forward.
You know, Massen's own journey really tells the story of Morocco's ambition. It started out back in 2010 with a laser focus just on solar power. By 2016, its job had expanded to cover all renewables, wind, hydro, you name it. And now, in 2024, it's launching a program to share what it's learned across the entire African continent. It's literally grown from a national agency into a continental leader. And if you want to see Massen's impact in action, you just have to look at its crown jewel, the Noor Ouarzazate complex. Now, this isn't just one solar plant out in the desert. It's a massive series of 4 different plants that all work together. Combined, they generate over 580 megawatts, which makes it one of the largest concentrated solar power facilities on Earth. The main takeaway here is just the sheer, world-class scale of what they're building.
But all of this work, the new laws, the funding, these absolutely massive projects, it isn't just about making Morocco energy independent. It's about setting the stage for Morocco to become a major energy exporter.
And this isn't just some pipe dream for the distant future. As this quote shows, the conversation with Europe is already happening. Way back in 2016, Morocco signed a declaration with Germany, Spain, France, and Portugal to actually build a roadmap for trading electricity. So the groundwork is already being laid.
And this really captures the dual vision perfectly. On one hand, you have all this new energy being used to power its own growing industries at home. And on the other, you have Morocco leveraging its perfect location to export clean energy directly to Europe. They are literally turning a historic vulnerability into a powerful economic advantage.
So, all the pieces are falling into place. A clear strategy, a modern set of rules, and a proven track record of delivering world-class projects. The question really isn't if Morocco can become a green energy leader anymore. The real question is, what kind of superpower will it choose to be? Will it just power itself? Or will it become the green battery for an entire continent?